Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Marvel Snapcast podcast. I'm your host, Ken, aka the Super Tech God. And today we got an awesome episode for you guys. We're going to talk about the latest card that's out right now, Penny Parker. How does she stand up with our rating system? Of course, we're going to dive into next week's card, preview Doom 2099. And then, of course, go into these awesome or not awesome OTAs that happened today as of this recording. Now, of course, we got to do it with one and only one of the co-hosts of the show. His name is
The top 5 best snappers in the world. Cino. Because we snap that hot fire. And I rep that power on all day. What's going on, y'all?
I'm good, man. How you been?
Chilling, man. Same old shit. How you been?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I mean, you were here last week. People were asking where's
Yeah.
Cino at. And
Yeah,
now
leave you
this week,
guys alone for 5 seconds, man. I can't
there
leave you
you
guys
go.
alone. Here we go. Here I am.
There
Back
you go.
to save the day, baby.
And of course, Cino's here and guest is not here, but it's okay. We have another guest with us, back by popular demand.
That's
The
right.
one and only Juce G. Welcome on in, my guy. How you doing?
What's good? What's good? What's good?
What's going on, Juice?
What's going on, fellas? Man, I didn't see you guys around the Thanksgiving time. I just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving to y'all. Even though I'm a little bit late, because I be late sometimes, but I got
It's all
All
good.
right. It's all good, bro. It's all good.
Hope you had a good time on your Thanksgiving
That's
as
right.
well.
definitely did.
We appreciate that. Appreciate that. Last
So
time
what
you
we
were
got?
here, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. But last time you were
It's an
here,
eventful day.
the fans definitely enjoyed the episode. Loved the take that you guys brought to the show. So couldn't wait to get you guys back on. Of
Brought
course,
that energy.
yeah. This is just
Yeah, we
this is just
counting
a
on you.
taste.
Yeah, we count on you to tell us what cards are boo boo.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
straight
sometimes they
buns.
be buns.
Buns. Yeah, that's right.
Facts. So we're gonna, save the four of us again coming back for another episode. But this one, I really want to dive into what's been going on, especially starting off with the latest card that came out this week, and that, of course, is Peni Parker. Now, this card is a 2/3. When you play her, you get a spider that comes to your hand, and when that spider is played and merges with Penny, you get +1 energy. If it merges with Penny or any other card, it also has the ability to move next turn. So the cool thing about the synergy with merging is that you can play Agony or Hulkbuster, merge it with Penny Parker, and you get that +1 energy. So you don't need the spider to merge with her. You can use any of the other cards that merge with Penny to get that +1 energy. But the cool thing with the spider is that, I merged it more so with move cards because it just made the most sense buffing cards like Vulture or Human Torch and then moving it next turn. So that's basically what this card, I utilize this card for. And based on, the interaction with it and the games that I played with it, I mean, of course, most people think it should be played in a Wiccan deck, which makes sense, right? Quicksilver into the spider. And then, of course, you can play Wiccan. So you keep getting extra energy. But I think that's basically what this card is. And I'm definitely going to keep it the way I felt last week. And I'm going to give it a gold card for me. So, how do you feel about this card?
I didn't get to give a rating on this card. I was not here last episode, but she's mid to me. I don't love the 3 cost there with the spider. It turns me off a little bit. Like I just don't love the curve on that. I like the fact that it merges. I like the fact that it moves. You can move it once. So you already know, put it in move card lists, or I'm sure other people have some hybrid or variations to that they could add this into, but it's not very big on what I play, so I'm not too impressed by old Penny Parker. So I'm gonna give it a gold rating, and because I'm sure people out there love it. I'm sure it has a lot. It's versatile in some ways, but I feel like it's just standard. It goes in a move deck or some odd concoction that you make up with it. I don't know.
I hear
I'm
that.
not. I'm not too into Penny.
All right. Juice, how you feel about Penny Parker?
So I think this card is actually pretty good. The cost is great. I think this is kind of one of those cards that is right in that sweet spot of a good, solid card. I use this card with a Kitty Pryde Fina shell. I have a video on it.
Okay.
And basically it just buffs a whole bunch of cards. It does have Wigan as well, because we got to get that extra
Yeah, get Wiccan.
make the
Yeah,
card stronger as well. But I also got Galactica in the deck as well.
Okay.
So this is a pretty good card. I wouldn't say it's game breaking or meta changing. I mean, I give it a gold easy. I think this is one of those cards where the devs just put their foot in the pot and got the cooking. This one's a good.
Yeah.
Well
Yeah,
balanced.
something different.
It's just doing too much for me. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
It's like,
she don't like that. See,
it's way too
Cena will
much.
tell you right now it's way too much,
Way-
but we need more cards that are fun. That's exactly
Mhm.
why I think this one is solid right in the middle. It's not platinum, it's not diamond,
Mhm.
it is gold. And again, you don't know what's going to happen. This card could definitely do certain things, different things. And as the opponent looking at it, like, they got a 3 cost in their hand. What are they doing with it, right? They don't even have to play this card. So it's a very intriguing card, and I totally get it. It's meant to be for fun. So I totally understand what they were thinking there. Now, we're going to preview next week's card, and I think this is the card that a lot of people have been like boasting and feeling is going to be the best card this season, and that is Doom 2099. Now, Doom 2099 is a 4/2. After each turn, add a Doombot 2099 to a random location if you played exactly 1 card. So kind of like Fina with the 2, this is 1 card, and you get an extra Doombot on a random location, which this Doombot is an ongoing, and it gives Doom, your other Doombots and Doom have +1 power. So that's kind of crazy that this card buffs Doom 2099, Doombots 2099, and Doom and Doombots. So I think
that wasn't complicated at all.
no, it's not complicated, but I just feel
Doombots, the Doombots, and Doom.
yes,
Yeah,
Doom,
I got it.
Doom 2099, Doombot 2099, Doom and Doombots. Come on, bro. There's 2 Dooms in the game now. Okay. So there's 2 Dooms in the game. So that's why. And there's 2 sets of bots, right? So that's the reason why. But to me, I feel this card, I know a lot of people give it a higher rating, platinum, probably even diamond. I feel this card is definitely going to be in the double silver to gold for me. I'm going to say double silver to start because I feel that board space is not enough for this card. The way Sages and Blob and the Galacta decks and everything else, the way cards are just getting to the max powers, this filling up the board is not going to help you win the lanes. So unless you're playing just these 2 Doombots and you're just going around playing everything else, I think for this to max out, you have to get rid of all that board space. And I don't know if it's going to be possible, especially now with what happened in the OTAs, which I'll break into later on. So for me, double silver for this card. So how you feel about it?
I used to think highly of it. I'm not gonna lie, since I've had time to sit with it and really look at it, I'm not as high as I was on it. I think I picked this for either platinum or the best card this season. I can't remember which, but I don't think so anymore. I think it's a gold. I'm gonna go gold for now until I can see how it's played. But I do agree with Super Tech God. There's so much out there right now that can be procced up to such high numbers and be buffed to such high numbers that it's probably not going to be able to compete, especially with taking up a lot of board space too. I think that disadvantage doesn't really help you. So I don't know. I'm interested to see when we finally get it and what people cook up with it. You know what I mean? I can't wait to see that. But as of right now, I'm not too high on this card. I do agree. It's probably going to be a gold, just to be fair, right now before we can really see, play it.
All right, Juice, how you feel about it?
Hey, I mean, I don't mean to be a positive Pete, but I think this is a pretty good card too. It's a pretty good card too, and I'll give it a gold, and I'm gonna tell you why I give it a gold.
Let's hear it.
I think it's flat solid. It's 4 costs. That is the worst part about it. However, I can see people doing ramp to a degree with Electro, rushing him out early to play a more or to build a deck that's more 4, 5, 6, 7 based type of deck. I can see this actually generating a lot of wide power in synergy with other cards. I think this is an archetype defining card in and of itself, but I think that scope is just that narrow. It's narrow to, you know, creating something with Doom, with Doom 2099, with Electro, maybe Psylocke, stuff like that, just to get this out on turn 3. Or even if you get it out on turn 4, find a way on turn 5 to get something out pretty big in preparation for a turn 6 Doom. I can see Magic playing with this. I think it's going to be decent. I think this is going to create a deck that's pretty consistent at spread and wide power, but not nothing too game breaking in as far as outplaying people at higher levels of gameplay. Everything about this is pretty predictable. You know, we're going to be expecting the level of power that you see. So I don't see you're going to be able to get a lot of good 8 cube wins or anything. I think this is going to be in a lot of 2 or 1 cube games. That's it.
Yeah, I don't think that this type of card list is going to help you beat anybody with their actual combo. So I think if anybody draws what they actually needed to draw on their list, they would probably have the advantage over this list.
Yeah, I mean, I am intrigued to see what people play, though. I want to see what list comes to mind. I mean, I'm with you on that. I was thinking the same thing, right? Electro, this, not Electro, sorry. Electro, this, or even Zabu into this on 3, and then you do, everything else after that, right? You do your ramp stuff where you can get Doom out early on 5, Odin on Doom on 6, have a whole board of Dooms and Doom bots. But again, I think the problem is this is a +1 ongoing card. If it gave +3 or maybe a +2, I could say, all right, we have something to work with. +1 is going to be tough.
It would be way more cracked. You could figure out some maybe now the Doom bots are ongoing, right?
Yes.
So yeah, not even. Yeah, this is a tough one. This card I think is missing the old Sandman, right? I think with the old Sandman, I think this card would be cracked because it would just help to that
right. Eliminate people playing one card at a time.
Yeah, and you're playing
always,
a bunch, and you're buffing a bunch of cards, and it's just no competition there. But for right now, I just don't know. It has to be in some way in a card list that some way limits your opponent, so that way this works.
What you gotta say, Juice?
I'm reading this, and after reading it again, I'm actually gonna drop my take from gold to silver, and the reason for that is it moves the bot to a random location. And that random location is crazy.
Yes.
If it said adjacent location, you can plan for it. You can do things.
Exactly.
But random location can mess whatever plans you got up.
Correct. And I think that's I would be okay with the randomness if I got +3 power. Right? Like, all right, knock yourself out. I don't care where you go. Give me that +3. I get it. I'll get it twisted, right? The 4-2 become a 4-3. The Doom bots become an extra power. I get it. Doom gets even stronger. I get it. But yes, we don't know what lanes these are going in. So it's going to be a bit tricky to figure out.
If anybody's ever played with Hydra Bob pulls, then you know how you can get screwed over sometimes with that movement.
Correct. Now, this might work out if we are playing some Luna Snow into Prof X type thing, locking a lane down. Maybe. I don't know. It's tough. I still can't see this getting more higher than a double silver for me. So that's how I look at it. You guys have my take on it. So, and you guys definitely explained how you guys feel about it. And I think that's exactly where this card is going to be next week. But again, let's see what people do with it. I am definitely excited for the card coming up after that. I'm a big fan of this Bruce banner. Yes, I know it's 25% chance of it hulking out, but I'm only thinking about my Sunspot, Infinite lists, being able to not spend energy and hope that this hulks out. I mean, I think this is going to be great with Moon Girl, things with Frigga, getting multiple Bruce banners and just dropping them. And I'm like, all right, turn 5 skip. And then Sunspot, and hopefully one of them pop off the Hulk and I can play my Infinite She-Hulk like that. So that's where I'm at. I'm excited for that one. But if you guys want to talk about it real quickly, because I know Juce G wasn't here when we did the others, I gave this one a high one. I know you guys laughed at me when I did. I'm definitely going back to platinum on this card. Yeah,
platinum.
Platinum.
Yeah. Last week? Yeah. Guessing the other two
Prashant and Bradford.
They looked at me like I was foolish. Yeah, because of the 25% chance. Cena, what do you think? What's your take on it?
I want to better understand the card so I can laugh at you.
Okay. So let's better understand it.
All right.
It's
So,
think of the location. Danger
when
Room.
it hulks out, what is that? What's happening?
It becomes a 612.
Okay, so it's going to change into a 612. You have a 25% chance of it going to 612.
Yes.
So you potentially have the option of putting on a 212 on the board, correct?
Correct. That is correct.
All right. That's a lot of RNG to give a platinum card. I'm just saying that's a 25% chance. Now this could be one of those 25% chance. Like, what is that location? Danger Room. Yeah, it could be one of those where you're guaranteed your car is always going to get destroyed when you don't want it to, and not get destroyed when you want it to. Right.
Correct.
So you could be waiting to Hulk out when you really need that Hulk out. It don't Hulk out, and when you're like, oh, I'm winning the game anyway, it Hulks out. Right.
So yeah. So to put in more context for you as well. You know the kind of list I play, which is like Infinite She-Hulk, right? So my plan is to, if I can get multiple of these or just one of these, right, in one lane, She-Hulk and Infinite is waiting. So when I skip that turn, if he doesn't Hulk out, that's fine. I still got the She-Hulk Infinite combo I'm trying to play. But if it does Hulk out, oh my goodness,
you're putting a lot of trust in that Bruce Banner right there to really help you out.
So you really just think about what card you cut from that list, right? 2-cost card. Again, it's in that Infinite She-Hulk list. It's just a hey, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If you're playing a list that you're banking on this to Hulk out, it's going to be a little different. Right, because
this card would be perfect in a high Evo list. Probably, I think this probably brings high Evo up a little bit.
It might, but either way,
as much as you skip energy in that list.
So you float a lot. Juice, what is your take on it?
So wait, Cino, what did you give it?
Oh yeah, what is
I don't think I so let me think about that. The 20. I'm sorry, bro. I can't. I gotta. It's. I like it. Double gold. I'm going double gold.
Okay.
Double gold.
All right. So
it's the RNG that bothers me.
Yeah.
The 25% chance part is just
of course. That's understandable.
So for me, first quarter off the top, I'm giving this a flat gold as well. I don't know what's up with this particular group of cards, but it looks like the devs are going with fun, and this is a fun card. So here's something that I just thought about. See, I play a lot of poker. I love poker. I think it's the greatest card game ever invented.
Okay.
Now there's something, that we talk about is our poker odds and outs, right? Okay. So when we're calculating our odds and outs, if we have an 8% chance on the flop, well, that's 8% times 2. Now, looking at this, if you drop this on turn 2, you got 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's 25% times 6. So that it's not a flat 25% if you just needed to Hawk out once, right? So you get 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you have 4 turns to hit that 25%. That's freaking awesome. I think this is a great value card. The fact that it's just 2 energy is not a major investment at all. On a turn where you're still trying to figure out how you're gonna map out the board. This is actually a pretty good card. This is a great card. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This is a great card.
I said platinum.
It's right in the sweet spot.
I don't know. How often are you not going to use all your energy on?
Well, let's just finish and I'll tell you.
Well, that's the ceiling, right? The ceiling is you're going to have those 4 turns, and the floor you're going to have 0 turns, right? But if you play this card, obviously you're going to think I'm going to at least give myself 1 shot to Hulk out. But we always know that we don't get those hands that allow us to curve out the best.
Correct.
So on those turns, you get extreme value out of this Bruce Banner because 2-1, sure, it's not the greatest in value, but that's vanilla. But the fact that you can get a 2-12, that's some good stuff right there. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
correct.
2-12 is
correct. Nice. And you got to think about lists that we ramp up, like Luna Snow. Playing Luna Snow lists, you have that extra 1 energy to spend and still play your curve, right? Still play your 3 costs, your 4 costs, and still have that extra energy. What I'm going to say is the people that the week this card comes out everybody's playing Red Hulk because you're hoping, all right, don't use your energy, my Red Hulk gets buff, right? That's going to be the kind of a counter the first week that card comes out. But to go back to your question is, yeah, there's going to be some games that, you don't get lucky and you can't play your cards, or you're going to have the unspent 1 energy or 2. My whole thing is, if you put this in the list, you are planning to not use your energy every turn, just the hopes to get the big Hulk. And I think that's the way to think about it. My thing is, it goes perfectly on curve with Frigga now. Turn 2, this. Turn 3, Frigga. Turn 4, you play this by itself. And you have 2 Hulk Bruce banners on the board. Turn 5, you can skip. And you got everything else in your hand you need to play, whether it be Infinite She-Hulk or just She-Hulk, whatever the case is. And hopefully one of the 2 pop off. And that's the kind of combo I'm thinking in my head. Bruce into Frigga into Bruce and whatever other 2 costs I want, whether it be Psylocke, right? So I make sure I got that extra energy, skip, and then turn 5, I skip. Hopefully they pop. If they don't, I'm dropping Infinite She-Hulk anyway.
What about Moon Girl? What about throwing Moon Girl in with this?
So Moon Girl works too. The only problem is, in the list that I want to play with Infinite, I can't do Moon Girl on 4 to this. The only way we can Moon Girl if we Zabu on 1, Moon Girl on 3, then drop these on 4, and then of course you can then skip and then hope for the best. But that's the only problem is Moon Girls are 4 costs. So the reason why Frigga works is because you still get 2 copies, right? But you just have to play turn. You have to hopefully play this on 2, play Frigga on 3. But with Moon Girl, again, that could be a backup plan. If you don't get Frigga on turn 4, you have these in your hand. You get 2 of these. Turn 5, you drop them. Turn 6, you skip, right? Like that's where it's gonna be the problem, right? Because now you got to figure out that Moon Girl into this play. So unless you're playing Magic on 3, Moon Girl on 4, these 2 on 5, skipping 6, and then on 7 you offload your hand. That's the only way I think Moon Girl will work with the Bruce Banner play.
Now, does this card just proc up in power, or does it change to a Hulk?
It changes to the Hulk.
It goes changes to the Hulk.
So a little bit of
6-12.
So if it changes early, a little bit of Fenris bait, right?
100%. But again, you can't Shang-Chi destroy every lane.
True. But it's a good 12 still, I can get for my Fenris.
Yeah, knock yourself out with that 12. I still got my Infinite and other Bruce another lane. I
It
mean,
depends.
On top of that, you're trading 4 energy for 2.
Right, exactly.
It's
so
a 4
I mean, it's right. So it's I really, really think highly of this card over this Doom 2099. But nonetheless, we'll see what happens, guys. You guys let us know down in the comment below if I'm bugging, if you guys agree with me.
Bugging. He's definitely bugging.
But I definitely think this is a platinum up there for sure.
Yeah, platinum is crazy.
He's tripping, super tripping.
You guys let me know. Then we have, of course, Rocket Raccoon and Groot team up. And to me, I feel this card is definitely in the mid. I'm going definitely gold on this. So the ability with this card, to me, based on what I'm reading, right? You can move this once. After the opponent plays a card here, steal 1 power from it. So that sentence, after the opponent plays a card here, what does that mean? What do you guys take from that? Because that could change my rating. Go ahead, Juice. What is it?
Here's what I take from it. Because it's not on reveal, it's not ongoing, it's just flat out, whether it's turn 3, 4, 5, or 6, after they play a card there, you take 1 power from that card.
Really?
Overall, I mean, that's just how I read it. It looks pretty clear to me.
Then it gets a higher rating. If that's the case, it gets a higher rating.
If it happens every time, I think it's cracked.
I don't see.
It doesn't happen every time. Well, it says after your opponent plays a card here, steal 1 power.
Okay, play a card.
So and here's what's crazy about it. Here's what's crazy about this card to me. I think. Well, let me just give my rating because you know what I'm talking.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I think this card is like diamond or whatever. This card is crazy. This card is absolutely crazy. Look at Cino's face. Because think about it. If you play it at a location where you know they're dumping cards, they play 3 cards. Boom, you just take 3 power, but you can move it. Then you got stuff like Surfer. You could set it up with Forge. You can go crazy with this for 3 costs. This is a really good card. And then the fact that it's just the fact that you could move it once while doing all of this stuff is just insane.
and move goes first. You know that move
Mm-hmm.
dissolves first. So even if you go into an empty lane and they play their cards, it's already there waiting to steal the power, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm. And stealing one power is a lot stronger than gaining one power. Heck,
Yes.
stealing one power is stronger than gaining 2 power.
Correct.
Because
you're
you take space.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the space that you take from them as well.
Yeah. So okay. Based on what you read, based on what you're saying, you feel this is a platinum card? What's your
You
take?
said diamond.
This is a diamond card.
Oh,
This
wow.
is a
Okay, all
diamond.
right.
This
Okay,
card is
all right.
crazy to me. I don't think
Okay.
it's like super about to get nerfed, but it's on the fringes, man. This card
So-
is crazy. And
Let's
that's
go see. Let
only
me hear your take. See
that's only my rating is only contingent on
that.
if it plays the way it reads. My boy.
What he said.
My boy. All right. So chat, let us know if we reading this correctly.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Like
how do you feel?
the text needs to be a little more clear here. Because if it's after opponent plays a card here, steal 1 power from it just that one time, like then it's a different card, right? Then we're all like,
Yeah. I'm thinking
okay.
3/5. That's what I
It's
thought.
all right. Yeah, it's cool. But if it's like on a constant basis, plus you can move it to another location, and then you can still more, proc it up more, then this card is pretty cracked. I'm not gonna go diamond. I'm gonna go about platinum. Definitely platinum. All right. But like what text are we leaning? You know what I mean? Like what are we doing?
Yeah.
Here? Which one is it? Is it the just steals 1 power from a card that one time and then that's it? Or is it a constant I'm stealing power? Because if it's a constant thing, that's pretty cracked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the question I had too. Because if it's just a 3/5, I'm definitely going with the silver to a gold. But if it could be more than that, then that's crazy. Because when I read this, I mean, I look at it as somebody plays 4 cards, is only stealing 1 power because it's going from the first card that revealed. You move it, it's stealing 1 power. It's stealing the first power from the first card that's played because the first card reveals. But if you're telling me I play a card and I play 3 cards in this lane, and it steals a power from each of them, even if it only did that twice, this card is definitely up there in the double platinum range.
Yeah, I did not read it the way you read it at all from each card because the text from other cards, it will say the first time you or each turn you, like I don't see that here at all. But it's like for me, it's if this card only took 1 power, if they played a group of cards and they took 1 power from one card, then I give it a gold just on the strength that you take a power and it can move. You can get into location.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. All right. So we'll see what happens. I mean, we should watch the video again and see if we can actually figure it out. But chat, I know you guys watched the video. You guys broke it down. Let us know if we're wrong or right on how this card actually works, because that is definitely contingent on the score we give it. Now, the card that I feel is second place this season behind Galacta. I think Galacta is the best card this season thus far. Lasher, and it's free, and it's a Series 4 card, may be the second best card this season because it's an activate card, and it afflicts an enemy card in the location with negative power equal to this card's power. And this is a 2/2. What that means is if I forge this, if I Shuri this, if I combine it with whatever, if I get this card to at least a 10 power, forget 10, 7 power by the last turn, and I activate in that lane, that is 14 power for me in that lane off the strength, and your opponent is losing 7 power. This card to me is the most fun I've ever seen in Marvel Snap in a long time. Shout out to devs. Shout out to the fact it's a free card if you play high voltage, which I know we all will. And it's a Series 4 card. To me, hands down, second best card, double platinum, is Lasher. Sino, how do you feel about Lasher?
Oh, it has potential. I like that. Just procking it up and then attacking your enemy's cards and bringing it down. That's really good. You could tell a lot of Luke Cage is going to be played when Lasher comes out. Excuse me.
Of course.
Yeah, a lot of Luke Cage coming out. And it's activate
the first week. Yeah.
And it's activate. That's awesome. You don't know what time someone's gonna do that to you. So you have all the game in the world to proc Lasher up and then afflict enemy cards with that negative power. That's gonna be sweet. Yep, Luke Cage, get it ready. So I'm
How
gonna
about
give
you,
this.
Juicy?
I'm gonna give this. It's gonna be tricky because you have to proc this up, right? So I'm gonna give
Not gonna be hard
this.
to do.
I'm gonna give it double gold for now. We'll see what's up when
Okay.
it comes out. Double
All
gold.
right. Juice, how you feel about it?
This card is crazy. This card,
Yeah.
this card is crazy.
Yes,
This
it
card,
is.
this card is absolutely crazy. Why isn't this card 4 cost?
I know this card needs to be a 4 cost. This shit is not. This card is.
This card
OP.
should be a 4/4.
Well,
or
explain why.
4/3.
Why do you think it should be a 4? Yeah.
Because if it's not, it's crazy, and we are witnessing craziness before our very eyes. In real time, we about to see this card hit the Marvel Snap streets and go absolutely crazy. You mean to tell me that you're about to force me to play Luke Cage when I want him in that cage? That's crazy. That is absolutely nuts for a card. I think this card is insane, man. The fact that it's an activate is nuts. I think they might nerf this card and make it an on reveal. That's what I think they might do.
Yeah, they might have to buff it in your hand. Yeah,
this card is absolutely nuts. 2 costs, like it's just 2 costs. Blows my mind. It just blows my mind. Blows my mind. The value trade you get from this is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is definitely a platinum card. And I mean it's close diamond to me. Like,
exactly.
Really
double platinum. I
think STG, you were spot on with this card. This card is one of the most fun cards I've seen them release. I really like the cards that they're putting out because it's focusing on the fun. The fact that this is a free one, right? This one's going to be a free one.
High voltage, man.
That's a good look for the newer players. I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's definitely a good tool that they're gonna have. Yeah,
bro. And listen, the crazy part is the same plan we can have for the Hulk. Frigga on 3, 2 of these bad boys. Right now, you just got to figure out how to buff it on the field.
That's the question. Right? I hear you guys going crazy, but my question to y'all is how y'all getting that procced up enough to make a difference?
You got so many different ways. You got Gwenpool, you have Nakia, you have Okoye, you have Agony. You have cards that can merge. Now you have the Spider, right? You can merge, take a Lasher, move him or activate him and then move him when you finish. You have Aranya, right? You have these cards. Like I said, you don't have to get it to crazy numbers. You get this to a 4 or 5. That's already 10 in the lane.
That's it. That's
what
all
you need.
You just need that 5. Joint to a 4 to 5. You basically
TG is 10 in the lane. Exactly. You don't have to be greedy. Think about that. You're taking 10 off the Infinite. Let's just take the Infinite, for example. 10 power off the Infinite. That is crazy to me. So all you need is 5. All you need is 5, and that's a wrap for you. Like it's that bananas to me that I feel, because it's not like this is afflicting it, and you also have the ability to play things like, what's the card name? Ajax behind this, right? You can go all toxic with this list.
Cerebro too.
You could do so many crazy things with this, and I think that's. If it was stealing it, it would be even better. So I got to revert back. It's not 10 from Infinite. It's only 5. But if it was stealing the power, it'd be different. You are basically afflicting. So back to that Ajax in this list, getting 2 of these, buffing it with Gwenpool, buffing it with Nakia, buffing it with Okoye, all the cards you want to use to buff. Like I said, this card just needs to get to a 5. You got things like Blue Marvel if you want to get crazy with it. Blue Marvel is ongoing. Drop that. This gets an extra 1. There's so many different ways you can buff this card. You just think about every other list that you've played and how you get cards buffed. The Lasher, put them in there, and voila, pause. Right? Just think about that.
A lot of Wong, Mystique, Ironheart.
This card is gonna be terrorizing.
Bro, I forgot all about that. That's madness. Wong, Mystique, Ironheart, and then activate. Just leave. Don't even play the game at that point. Just leave. Just
That's
leave.
crazy. Absolutely
Just-
crazy. Yeah, this card is going to be terrorizing Marvel Snap.
Yeah.
It's going to be everywhere. You're going to need
Luke
Cage.
Cage.
You're going to need
So
him.
Luke,
Surfer going
Luke
to go
Cage,
crazy.
Surfer too.
Cuz Surfer is going to go crazy with Rocket Raccoon
Rocket and Groot. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Rocket and Groot, and shoot, it's going to protect you against this Lasher cheese that's about to come out.
Yeah, because man, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. But you guys in the comments down below, let us know how y'all feel, which card you feel is the best, how you guys feel about Lasher, because I'm intrigued to also know myself. Now, next on the list, we have today's balance update. The OTAs came out,
Oof.
and the card that everyone
Oof.
have been begging for, been pleading with the devs to get nerfed, was Arishem. Arishem was a 7/7 at the start of the game, plus 1 max energy, and it shuffled 15 random cards into your deck. As of today, it is now still a 7/7. It shuffles 12 cards, 12 new cards at the start of the game, and you only get that max 1 energy starting on turn 3. Now, if you guys read all the wonderful notes behind it, the reason why they decided to do it, based on everybody's feedback, which again, as much as people might say the devs aren't listening, the devs are definitely listening. And before the holidays, before they take their break, they said, "Hey, you guys go. Arishem now gets the nerf. Yeah, here's a Christmas gift for you guys. He gets nerf now. You get 12 new cards in the deck." And for those people who were upset that you can play Quinjet on 1, Loki on 2, all that madness, that's out the window. Now, of course, you can still find ways to cheat energy early and do all the but at least you have to do that now, right? Before you didn't have to. So I think this is a well-deserved nerf. I'm gonna start with Juce G. How you feel about Arishem's?
So for this entire segment, this is going to be my genuine, authentic reaction, because this is my first time looking through the whole list of changes. So first, also another sidebar, I like to use the word tutor when we're talking about getting extra energy, because some people get sensitive to that word cheat, and they like to go crazy with it. But this is actually interesting.
You ain't trying, Juice.
and to be honest, you ain't lying.
Yeah.
Let's go. But shuffle 12 new cards into the deck. I guess that's their way of bringing a little bit more consistency back to Arishem. They're not trying to let him lose too much off of his power. I think this is good. I think Arishem's still going to be a pretty doggone good card. I don't see any issues with this. I really like this change, honestly.
Yep. See how you feel about it.
Nah. Nah. Hey, goodbye. Let me hear you. Nah.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, goodbye. We're not gonna fucking miss you either. Like, I'm so happy at least something was done. And I mean, it had to do something. I just wanted something done about it. It was starting to get real annoying. It was oversaturated in the meta. They're starting to make new versions of the shit. It was like Thanos Arishem. What type of shit is that? Like, what is going on here? Like, what the fuck are we cooking up out there? You guys are toxic as fuck. Just let it rock. Like, it was bad enough. Literally. Now you want to throw Thanos in it. Like, it was oversaturated. The game was not balanced. It was way too much Arishem. Now that they've done something about it, it can decrease in amount of people are playing it. You know what I mean? Now I think the meta will start to feel a little bit more versatile and a little bit more diverse. So thank you for something. At least we could go into Christmas and the New Year without having to worry too much about seeing Arishem out there.
Yeah, and I'm happy they made this change, and I think it was well deserved. It's nothing crazy. It didn't nuke the card to the way that people thought it would have happened, but it kind of put it in a position where A, yes, hopefully less people stop playing it, and B, if you do play it, at least you're not as powerful as you were just dominating the beginning of from turn 1 all the way down, So I know people that were just, as soon as they saw Arishem, they'd just retreat turn 1, which is crazy.
Yeah, Guest said
so
that
we don't-
on the pod too. He said he sees it and he just retreats right off the bat. He doesn't even play the game out.
Right.
And I'm
so
like, if that's the type of experience people are having out there, then you have to address that. You have
Correct. So I'm happy they did that. Now we have other changes here going on with Typhoid Mary. Typhoid Mary was ongoing. Your cards here in the locations get -1 power. It went now to the cards here get -2 power. Now this change was mainly because of Surtur, right? Surtur was the best list out there, and cards like Typhoid Mary and every other cards was 10, 10 power cards was helping that list just get above everything and win. This nerf is definitely a stray bullet because of Surtur. And to me, -2 power is definitely a big thing, right? Because instead of it being just -3 in a location, now it's -6. So that's kind of huge for me, pause, kind of huge on that negative effect.
Hey, buddy, it's a family show.
Yeah. So I listen, it needed to happen. It needed to happen.
That's it. Y'all New York. All I can hear is, hey, yo.
Facts. Oh, man. So it needed to happen. I'm happy it happened. Juce G, how you feel about this change for Typhoid?
I mean, we should have sung that song for Typhoid Mary. I think this is cooked. I mean, I think she's cooked. I really think so. Because effectively, I mean, you gotta play her by herself. And she's already stripped butt naked to Shang-Chi. So I mean,
yeah. Facts.
Stripped butt naked to Shang-Chi. Okay.
He's
right.
This show has gone left, y'all. Let's go. Snapcast after dark. I love it.
Right. Snapcast after dark. He's right though. He's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
What about you, Cena? How you feel about the change?
I didn't see much Typhoid Mary outside of Sauron,
Surtur.
right?
Surtur. What was Surtur?
Well, Surtur now, but before it was Sauron, right? And Zero and all that stuff. So I think if you're still doing that, she's fine. I don't think that's gonna do anything for you. And you play her with a Surtur, and you just gotta play Zero and then Typhoid, which a little tricky, but hey, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. I don't think anybody was really playing Typhoid Mary too much outside of any of that. So I don't think it made too much of an impact. And then you running Luke Cage too, right? So yeah, I don't think this is going to make too much of an impact. I don't think this is too much of a change.
I think it will for the Surtur decks only.
Surtur?
That's going to be, because like I said, you weren't playing any type of Zero or Sauron in those lists. You were just playing, hey, I got to play these 10 cost cards, and I'll put Typhoid Mary with another card. Doesn't matter. Surtur already got his buff, right? So if I -1, the Crossbones, he becomes a 4/9. Doesn't matter. Surtur already got his plus.
Already got his buff,
right? But it also protects against Shang-Chi.
But
nonetheless,
that's the impact, though, right? Like the impact of it is, I don't think that there should be any card in the game of Marvel Snap that's unplayable. So if Typhoid Mary is already not getting played in anything else but Surtur, but then you strip her from Surtur, like what you gonna do? She just out there waiting to get kicked.
Yeah,
facts. You're right. They're gonna have to fix this at some point, but we'll find out. Alioth, I don't think it needed a nerf. It got the nerf it needed when it only removed text from unrevealed cards, which I definitely liked. Before that, you guys know how bad Alioth was. So I'm happy they made that change.
Jesus Christ.
Then they made him a 6/10, which everybody was like, oh my gosh, but it was still worked out. We didn't care about that 6/10. But in the Surtur deck, everybody cared about it because, again, it was definitely shutting things down, because in a Surtur deck, you normally had priority. So to make it a 6/9, fantastic. It no longer buffs Surtur, and it's a nice ceiling at being 6/9. You want to know why? Because a 6/10 didn't matter. Shang-Chi couldn't hurt it anyway, right? Because if they got priority, Shang-Chi lost his ability. Right. So now there's a 6/9. It's a great sweet spot for it. It is 1 power less. It doesn't help with the Surtur decks. And I do like it at that number. It's not too powerful, because going up against other lists that had cards that sit at the 9 range or the 10 range with 2 cards in the lane, Elias was able to tie that lane, which sucked. Now, no longer can do that. So I'm happy with this change. Well needed. The card is still playable. Juice G, how you feel about it?
Honestly, I think this is a slight buff to Elias. Honestly, I mean, I know
Okay.
you spoke a little bit about the Shang-Chi. I'm always cognizant of Mr. Hiya, Mr. Kick in the Face, aka Sweet Chin Music. But
Yes, sweet chin music.
but let's say you're in a scenario where you're at turn 7 and you're trying to outplay a guy who's got Wong on the board, and you just drop it on 6 and you whiff. Well, now he's butt naked out there waiting to get kicked. But if he's at 9, it's just a big body, which is useful. It's still useful. It's a big body. So
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I think Elias it was in a good spot. I think it's still going to be in a good spot. I mean, it's all right.
Okay. How about you, Cena? I know you hated Elias for a long time.
I hate this fucking card. I hate it. And you know what's even worse? During stream when Tuesday, I had to actually big this card up because somebody had a list of cards that they were looking to get. I think it was Ajax, Scream, and Elias. And I couldn't in good conscience tell them not to get Elias out of all those cards. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And this is a person that's just coming up in the game. So yeah, I had to kind of like direct him in the right path. Like don't get Ajax, unpin Ajax right now. And then
Good guy,
go,
Sino.
yeah, go for the Elias because it's just more of a vital card. It's gonna be a way more useful tool to you than it's those other 2 cards. Right? Hated it. And I even said it. I said I fucking hate this card. I hate that I have to pick it, but it is. It being at a 6/9 changed nothing. It changed nothing. It's still annoyingly good, right? Like the tech is what you're really using Elias for. The fact that it was a 10 and now it gets brought down to a 9, you should be happy it didn't go back down to 6/5. Like thank your lucky stars that it's 6/9 and it's, you know what I mean? Don't be upset that it's not 6/10 anymore. Be thankful that it's not 6/4, 6/2 because the tech is way more valuable than the power. So the fact that they didn't change that is, change that too much is a miracle to me. So 6/9, 6/10, regardless, killing your opponent having priority and killing your opponent's cards, like just taking all their text away and all that love. That's the satisfying part about playing Elias. So
Agreed. Yeah, that 9 was just to help with the searcher deck. So
right,
it is what it is. I totally agree. Still a playable card, still a great card. Then we have Enchantress. Now, Enchantress was buffed a long time ago to a 4/6, and everybody was playing her, and they were just like, you know what? This is too powerful. Let's bring it down to a 4/5. And as of today, with all the other ongoing cards out there, the Dog Hawks, the Queen Jets, the Boars, the US Agents, the Mobius, they figured, hey, we got to get Enchantress back on here and give us some love. And they made her 4/6. And I think this is a great change, especially with all the going that's happening. And mentioning this earlier with the Doom bots, we can just Enchantress the lane with the Doom bots. It's going to be crazy.
She never needed to be changed from before when she was a 4/6. She was just fine.
Agreed. Well, the problem was the meta wasn't ready for that because we had that much
the meta
powerful
wasn't
ongoing.
ready for that.
Nah, wasn't ready for it. We didn't have that much. We didn't have that much powerful ongoing to like Dog Hawks. So
well,
it's like,
you know what the meta's ready for now? +3 Surfer. Bring him back. Let's go. +3 Surfer. Bring Surfer back.
Surfer wins too much. He wins too much right now. So yeah, I'm happy with this change. And you know what? She goes back to, hey, you need a 4 spot to be filled. Just throw in Enchantress. So I'm good with this. Juicy, how you feel about it?
I agree with you. I'm 100% spot on. I think it's a W change. Everything that you said is accurate. Back then when it was 4/6 before, there wasn't that many good ongoing cards. So if you played Enchantress, it's a blowout card because one card beats a whole deck. That's essentially what it was. But now there are enough ongoing cards to where some people splash ongoings in their deck. Some people have full ongoing decks, but there's enough cards in there to make it a reasonable counter. And then there's also enough strong on reveal cards to make you consider whether playing Enchantress is worth it. So it puts Enchantress in a good place, and I like the change.
I'm with you. Cena?
I like it. Just to piggyback off what you guys said, yeah, I love the 4/6. I didn't think it needed to be changed in the first place. I think she felt good at 4/6. I also liked, I believe it was Lady Sif that was a 6 also, right? at one
No,
point.
she was a 2/6 in the very beginning of the world.
Oh God, that's nice.
No, sorry, she was a 2/5. Hellcat was a 2/6.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, I felt like she was reasonably powered before. Like you said, the meta wasn't ready for it. That's fine. Back she is. Like you said, this card is great for all the ongoing plugins that we have in the meta right now.
Yes.
A lot of stamps, a lot of ongoing stamps out there on turn 6. You know what I mean? A lot of endings, a lot of closeouts with ongoing. So Enchantress is definitely a tool that you should have. Play a little Zabu, you can get her at a 3 cost. You know what I mean? So that's also great. She's vital. There's just too much ongoing out there right now for you not to have, especially in a counters list, to have your Enchantress in there. So yeah, I like this change.
Perfect.
Makes it even more valuable.
Black Widow. This card got buffed back to nerf, changed, got reworked.
They won't leave her alone.
She was an ongoing card, and she was being abused with Grandmaster. So people were just getting upset that we're throwing all these spiders, these what's it called?
Misery also, right?
Yeah, misery. You play her, then you misery. You play her, you Grandmaster, misery her, and Widow Bite. So everybody was getting upset with that. So they made it an activate card. You know what? I'm upset with that because on turn 5, guess what's happening?
Guaranteed.
They're going to press activate. I'm guaranteed
and
to
you are not get a draw. Mm-hmm.
So to me, unless there's a way to destroy a Widow's Bite from my hand, I don't see why this card needs to be an activate. So the fact they put it back to 3/3 is good enough because they want to deter people from, again, trying to play this card in every list. So the way I look at it, it's a good nerf. I just wish they put it back to honor reveal. I'd rather deal with the honor reveal than the activate because, again, now it goes from a 6-turn game to a 5-turn game.
Yeah.
Juice, how you feel about it?
Nah, I mean, I agree with you. It does put the Black Widow in range for Lady Deathstroke, but I mean, they gonna activate it anyway. Especially they got they activating it anyway. It ain't gonna make it. Yeah, I really don't like activate on Black Widow. I really don't. Unless there were more ways to counter activate. The only thing I can think of off the top of my head is
they haven't come up
Red
with that
Guardian.
yet.
Red Guardian is the
Red
only
Guardian.
thing that's all I can think. Or a Lady Deathstrike if they choose not to activate or something like that. But outside of that, see, with these mechanics, if they're gonna put out, say, 2 cards with a new mechanic, there should be at least 1 card that stops that mechanic or is some sort of adjustment towards that mechanic. Right. That way you can, you keep it balanced. You keep it. Card games are the best when everything is an option. Everything is under consideration. And as long as you're at that point, I think you're always in a good spot. Now, here with Black Widow, just like STG said, you see Black Widow, you're not getting a draw for turn 6.
Yep. It's a wrap.
That's not very fun.
Yeah, I mean, a quick rework to this is just like they did with Magic. You cannot activate this card after turn 5.
Oh, that's good. There you go.
Yep.
Problem solved.
There you go. Well, after turn 5,
you can't activate this card.
Or you can't activate this card.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, after turn 5,
you can't activate this card. Yeah, I like it. So it would be after turn 4, you could no longer activate this.
Right. So make her a 2/3.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got 2 turns to decide if you're going to activate or not.
Correct.
Done.
You know what? On that note, I agree with you guys on that. We don't even got it. After turn 4, she should be activated because it's a cheat. You're not getting a turn 6 draw.
So make her 2/3 or 2/4, and we're good. All right. Next on the list, we have Frigga. We spoke about Frigga a lot. Frigga is definitely a great card. Super fun. Definitely enjoy playing Frigga. We did go Infinite with Frigga, I think. Yes, we did. Frigga what? Frigga who? What's the name of the list? We Frigged the Frig. Out of Sage. But giving her a buff is perfect because a lot of people were afraid to pick her up because she's like, oh no, she's a 3/3. I'm not really feeling this, blah, blah, blah. So the fact they gave her a 3/4, I'm pretty happy with that. And I mean, listen, she's gonna be utilizing a lot of lists. Like I told you, the list that we just spoke about earlier with the 2 Lasher and Bruce Banner. So I'm happy for the change. Glad that they saw that this card needed some love and they gave it to it. Juice, how you feel about it?
Boy, was I wrong about this card. Boy, was I wrong about this card. Boy, I said this card was going to be some absolute buns. I thought this was going to be some buns. But the card is it's a pretty good card. The change bringing it to a 3/4 makes it more of a consideration in more competitive arenas. It's a very fun card, there's no doubt about that.
Right.
I think it's good for Frigga. I think they're doing a lot of good things with the fun aspect of the game. I'm really feeling it. I'm really feeling it. Yeah.
I'm with you. Cena, what about you, buddy? I know you don't. Do you have Frigga?
Yes, I do. I do agree with both of you. Frigga's tech alone is cracked in certain situations when you can work it out. So the fact that she got this little power buff, I think, makes her more frequently played in the meta. So just be prepared to see a lot more Frigga. That's my opinion.
Awesome. Then we go to my next card, which is one of my favorite cards, one of the best cards I wanted to get when they did the whole Series 4, Series 5 drop, which I think was the best time in Marvel Snap. And Shuri. Shuri was my favorite card because the way to play Shuri was you put her down, and with the next card you play, no matter where you played it, got that buff. So Shuri Red Skull with the Sauron package we made called Savages back in the day was like one of the best lists out there, and kind of got people to leave the game. People were upset that this was happening. This is when OTAs wasn't implemented yet, so Second didn't quickly make a change and try to balance that out. But what they end up doing was making Shuri a 4/1, where on reveal, the next card you play at this location, not even her, this location gets the double. So they buffed it to a 4/3. I don't think it's a buff because I used to use her with Ravonna. Now, her being a 4/3, what was the point of it? I get it. Now you put a card on there, it gets additional 3 power. But that also means
you're not giving me enough, bro. Like, keep the same energy that you had earlier when we spoke about this. You had a lot more anger and a lot more
I'm
bass
angry.
in your
I am
voice.
angry. I put the tweet out. I am angry.
Say it with your chest. Let them know. Let them know how angry. No, you don't sound angry. You sound like you're ordering something from the
buffet.
Yeah. Can I get some?
He was angry because he put the tweet out.
Yeah, see, I'm not getting that anger. Let me get that anger right now.
That tweet out, man.
Why you mad, son?
So, like I said, I'm upset because of the Ravonna synergies are gone. I think they need to rework Shuri. I've been asking the devs. I did tell them how I feel about it. It doesn't have to be back to the way it was, which was destroying the game, but at least make her like Shuri's Lab. So when I play Shuri down on 4, I could play a card somewhere else on 5. The next card I play on Shuri should give me that buff. So now I can play the, psych game with my opponent, because this right here, all my opponent is going to do is go, oh, wait, okay, yep, Shadow King in the lane with Shuri. Come on, there's nothing that could be done there. I can't even Cosmo the turn before, right, to stop the Shadow King. So you're basically telegraphing, hey, I'm doubling it up right here. What you gonna do about it? You know what I mean? So now your opponent has 2 options. Do I have a Shang-Chi? Do I have a Shadow King? No. Guess what? I'm not playing in that lane. So all Shuri is going to become is bait for Venom. And what's Nimrod? So you're going to play Nimrod in the lane, Venom that lane, and now Venom is chunky, Nimrods go all over the place. That's all Shuri's going to become. She's going to become a Nimrod destroy card. That's it. We're not going to see her with any other package. You want to put in a Sauron deck, knock yourself out. You know what's going to happen? Shang-Chi, Shadow King. Put her, rework her. I don't care how you do it. Make her activate. We have activate now. Make her activate. So now nobody knows when I'm going to do it. Make her 4/1 again. I put Shuri down. I activate her on 6. Play my card on top of it. Voila. You understand? This on reveal 4/3 crap. It's not working out. My take, guys. Got no second dinner listens. Just make her activate card and put it back to a 4/1. I guarantee you, everybody will be happy.
There you go, bro.
Juice G, how you feel about it?
Hey, I'm with you, man. When you had me sold at the activate, I loved your campaign right there. He said, listen to me. I knew it was for real when he said, listen to me.
Wow. I felt like we was at church just now. Amen.
Boy, I tell you, I said,
Preach.
look, we're the past the collection plate. I'm plus
Yes.
one that.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Yes. We want Shuri to be
No,
healed.
but the idea of making a card activate not only is more fun, but it adds a strategic element to the game. And
Yes.
you know, that's where a lot of us get the fun out of it, is the strategic elements of the game. So I think
right.
that's an amazing suggestion. And it's one that Second Dinner should consider.
I think it's the solution. Solution.
Yeah. So just think about it, right? Real quick. I don't want to harp on it too long. What can cause it to be an issue? And I don't think anything can, right? Because the problem with it in the past was you can Shuri into Red Hulk and then Taskmaster. Taskmaster is a 6 cost now, so you can't do that on the last turn anyway. So if you activate on 6 and you play the biggest card, whether it be a 0-10 She-Hulk, then you have 2 20s in the lane. That's still not enough because Infinite by himself is a 20. So to me, making it activate and being able to play on 6 and do something else that can potentially make the meta upsetting can't happen, because the cards that kind of was the problem already fixed. So now making her activate, what are you worried about? Dropping a Kitty Pryde down? But Kitty Pryde is 1. Taskmaster is a 6. So you're going to have to play other cards to get that Taskmaster to a 5, whether it be Ravonna, whether it be negative. Like, you get what I'm saying? There's no way to really say, hey, making her activate can really break the game, because she's still a 4 cost. You're not making her a 2 cost. You're not making her a 3. She's a 4. So you have 2 turns to activate her. In most cases, you activate her on 6 anyway. So you're going to give up. You're going to give up a lot of things there, right? Because even if you did that, She-Hulk still has to be a 1 cost, because unless you're playing unless you're playing Shuri on Hope Summers, you're not able to drop like a Infinite, making it 40. And you know what I mean? Like, you have nothing that can break the game with having Shuri be activate and trigger on the last turn, is what I was mostly concerned about. And the fact that Taskmaster is a 6 cost now, nothing I can see right now can actually be like everybody goes, okay, put Shuri back because she's breaking the meta. Chat, if you guys see something I don't see, let me know.
I don't even have a take. I agree with you, bro. Like 100% everything you said.
So that's my take.
It's a good one.
You keep it a buck there. That's the perfect solution too. I think it's the only solution.
Yeah, I think that fixes a lot of problems.
Other than next time you play in this lane, like other than that,
right. Which I think, make it activate. Be a wrap. Lockjaw is getting a buff to 4/5. I think Lockjaw deserves it. He really got a lot of stray bullets because of Thanos. He was a 3 cost back in the day, back in the Creator Clash days when Ordinary Harry won the tournament all the way through with Thanos Lockjaw.
I'll be honest with you, even in the High Evo days, Lockjaw was definitely welcomed. Welcomed a lot.
They fixed him back, so now you could dump as much cards as you want in there, and it swaps. And now they gave him a buff. So I really do expect to see a lot of Lockjaw in the meta, especially with discard and a lot of other things. So I'm happy to see this change. Lockjaw, I'm happy you're back to life, buddy. Juice, how you feel about it?
I think it's a good. I love Lockjaw. I love Lockjaw. It's a great card. It's fun. You can make it strategic. You can build a deck around it to understand what you have left in the deck and what you can cycle through. I think it's a well-designed card, and it's good to see Lockjaw getting some love.
Yep, perfect. See, now how you feel about it?
Love Lockjaw. One of my favorite card lists to play. Definitely was a fan of the High Evo Lockjaw. The Hammer Bros card list with Lockjaw is my second favorite. I love this, that it's getting a 5 power. Hate that it's a 4 cost. I'm not gonna lie. I love the 3 cost. It was better for Curve when Lockjaw was at a 3. I think Thanos even has been nerfed to the point where the stones only work for Thanos now. So therefore, it doesn't need the hit that Lockjaw took on that shouldn't stand. I think now in this meta, it should be brought back to what it was. I think that makes Lockjaw even more useful and even more used. But yes,
Yeah.
this is good. This is good. It's not a bad thing, but I just wish that it was better for Curve.
Yeah, because even Leech now doesn't do what he used to do. So
Exactly.
Lockjaw took a
You
lot of
can't cheat Leech out. You can't
Yeah.
cheat on Thanos. Like
he took
now
a
this
lot of
took a lot of
blows for that.
hits. Yeah.
Now the next three cards, well, we'll go for the top one right here. Stormbreaker. I mean, listen, I'm gonna go through all three. You guys can tell me how you feel.
Got
The
it.
final three cards, I think Stormbreaker. Props to Stormbreaker becoming a 0-3. I think that's huge. I think that number alone is bananas.
Yep.
Because even a Wasp is a 0-1. Even what's it called? What the heck is his name? The 0-2 card. What is the name again?
Yellow Jacket.
Yellow Jacket. Even Yellow Jacket has a negative part to him where you play him, the cards in the lane gets a afflicted damage. This is a 0-3 that does just it doubles the power of a card. But even if you destroyed that card, it's still a 0-3, guys.
Yep.
We put Wasp in the deck to play with other cards. This is a 0-3. This is
especially in the Lockjaw list.
Bananas. So I think this is probably
or Pixie, right?
Yes, this is probably the winner of the buffs and nerfs of this thing. I know Arishem, people gonna say, no, Arishem got nerfed. That's the best. No, Stormbreaker won this one. 0-3. Wow. All I gotta say about that. Cerebro becoming a 2-0. I mean, honestly, Cerebro should have been a 1-0. Cerebro could be a 0-0 at this point. Cerebro needs some love.
Mhm.
And I think it's with all the bad locations in the game, Cerebro has to be played with Luke Cage. Like, you can't play Cerebro deck without Luke Cage.
Right.
So to me, him becoming a 2-0 is awesome. I'm happy. I hope we see a lot more Cerebro. But I just mean, you either make Cerebro 2-0 but +3 or something, right? Like it's just
it needs a facelift.
Yeah, I don't know. Back in the day, it was fun to make Cerebro decks. Nowadays, with the locations and everything else being more powerful than +2, it's tough. It's tough to really justify.
I think it needs a meta adjustment. I think the meta in the game has changed since that was viable and successful. So I think it just needs to change.
Or do something cool, like when played with Professor X, it does something else. You know what I mean? Like maybe they start merging things together.
I like that idea, a little interaction.
Yeah. I know data mines show that the Captain America, our boy Wilson, Captain Falcon, the shield now will become something separate, just like the Thor's hammer, and give Captain America a buff. I think both Captain Americas, the Steve Rogers and Captain Falcon. So
that's cracked.
Cerebro should kind of become that thing too.
I think that means Captain America is going to be played a lot more.
Oh yeah.
I would like that.
Yeah. Yes, of course. See, so I'm saying. So I hope like they think about that with Cerebro. Things like Phoenix and Jean. But again, that's for another time. Let's go on to the next one. Elsa Bloodstone. Elsa used to be one of the best cards in the game. One of the best cards. Playing with things like Silk and Kitty Pryde and
Jeff.
Jeff
Nightcrawler.
I feel so bad that this card got nerfed to 3-2, to giving 2 power. Yeah, he used to give 3 power, right?
Angela, yeah.
It was so good. It was so good.
It used to be 3 power, yeah.
Now
you tell we miss her? No? All right, cool.
There's a lot of cards in the game we miss. So we should do a segment on that one time. We can go through it. Like, I miss old Chavez. But again, 3-4.
Never forgotten Chavez.
3-4, they gave her the buff. Yeah, Chavez was so good back in the day.
Hey, I need to get me a flute so I can start playing, the Titanic music every time one of these cards go RIP.
Never let go. Never let go.
Poor Lita. Lita got nerfed he got nuked to the ground.
Old Zabu.
Yo, classic Zabu. So good. But and the last thing here at the bottom says, that's all for this week. Until next time, happy snapping. That is perfect. I think they gave us a plethora of amazing things to do between the OTAs and the new cards coming out for the rest of the year.
Yep.
We have no issues really with Marvel Snap, besides the one that we all agree upon, which is card acquisition. Beyond that, I think the game's in a great place. As of this recording, at the start of it, the servers was all wonky. Games weren't working. Sega didn't put out a tweet saying Arishem was upset that they nerfed him, so he went and broke the servers. but we just got confirmation it's back up and running. So
Let's go.
Awesome.
good to go. So yeah, I mean, listen, this is my take on these cards. How you guys feel about these three, and really, I want to hear Juice from you, your take on Marvel Snap and how you feel about the game, because I know there's a lot of
Mhm.
negativity out there about it. So I really want to hear your take, if you feel the same way, or what's your take on
So let's
Marvel
let
Snap.
Okay.
let's let
So
Juice go last. Let's let Juice go last so he could break that down. I'm gonna give
Okay.
you really quickly what I Stormbreaker, awesome, love it. 0-3 now. Hammer Bros definitely gonna be played a lot more and on my game. The Cerebro, agree with Tech and Juice, not strong enough to really rock out in this meta now. They need to give it a facelift and give it something different to spice it up and give it some value. Elsa Bloodstone, yeah, extra power buff, great. You know, I think it leads to her being played a little bit more. Would have loved if she was the old +3, but she's not. She's the +2. It's still good, still great tech, still good at Kitty Pride and bounce and all that other stuff. So really, really liking this OTAs, really liking the change. Go ahead, Juice, break it down, bro.
all right, so Stormbreaker. I mean, I'm gonna go quick with these three, and then I'll talk about my opinions on the
Yeah.
game. But the Stormbreaker, I say W dinner. It's one of my favorites. I love the Thor package. I throw them all in there, have some fun with the Lockjaw too, with the OG Odin himself going crazy. Cerebro. Now I'm not much of a Cerebro player at all, but it does need some love. Not many people are playing Cerebro. And then the ones who do, it's the locations really mess Cerebro up. They really do. And then Elsa Bloodstone. I agree with Sino. I wish she could return back to her former glory. Give me the +3 so she can go crazy, help out my my hit monkey decks and all that good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Pigeon Rock back up there, start moving them
Of course.
around. Yeah.
Help out the young chef there. So my take on Marvel Snap the game.
Yeah, these
I,
stuff.
I love the game. I think the game is really, really good. Just like you guys, the card acquisition, of course, I have an issue with that because it helps out the ecosystem of the game, and the players make the game. The game itself is fantastic, especially when you play the game, you get into it, you play it for a while, and then you start hitting a wall because it's
Yeah.
taking too long
Yeah.
to get more cards. Now, I know in the beginning of the game they lump you in a different pool of players, and then
Right.
they throw you into the Lions Den a little bit later. But I think they should add another portion there, or they should section it off based on your collector level. Group that a little bit tighter, so you'll be playing against people who have similar card counts. They may not have the same cards as you, but they may have
You're still in
around
the
the
same
same
group.
number of.
Yeah.
So that way you don't feel like you must pay, because just that feeling alone can turn you off from a pretty good game.
Right.
And this is just for your standard everyday. I'm gonna pick up the phone, spend 5 minutes while I'm waiting in line just to play a game of Marvel Snap. That's one of the best things about the game.
Right.
But as far as Marvel Snap going forward, the future of it, I think the future is pretty good for Marvel Snap. I think the devs spend a lot of time and attention on the game, a lot more than other games. It's hard to find a mobile game where you get this many updates, this many new cards, this much content on a consistent basis. And I mean consistent basis. It's really, really hard to find that, and that should tell you a lot. I think a lot of us as gamers in general, we become a little bit spoiled, and we don't understand the process of the development and the changes that it takes for these games to be made. We don't understand the time it takes for these things to get pushed through, because I know they have to go through steps of approval on a couple different levels depending on the game. And I think us as the spoiled little consumer consuming the product, we get a little bit too privileged in that aspect. And I think a lot of us need to tone it down a little bit, take it easy. We're enjoying the fruits of someone else's labor. And it's just for our enjoyment and our entertainment. We sacrifice absolutely nothing to enjoy this great game that they put on for us. I think the game is not dead. I don't think the game is dying. I think that there are other games that people are trying out and testing out right now, and rightfully so. There's a lot of good stuff out there. And I
Right.
think when the more games that's out there, the more everybody wins. And it's slight sidebar from it. I know a lot of different people who games like this saved their lives, kept them out of the streets and stuff like that. So I think these things are very, very important. And as long as Second Dinner prioritizes the content creator community as far as the game is concerned, I think the game will continue to flourish because your casual player of the game watches the content creators, and oftentimes they take what we say as the gospel. Oftentimes,
Right. Yeah.
So, and we as content creators, we enjoy playing this game. Some of us are, making a living from the game, so we want the game to do well. We want the game to thrive. So we have all the greatest intentions for the game. I hope that the devs and Second Dinner and they understand that and they truly believe that. And I just think that us as a consumer base and as gamers, we need to be easy a little bit. Be easy a little bit on the harsh critiques. Keep it objective,
Productive.
keep it common sense, and keep it productive. If you have any ways that you could potentially make it better, add that. But I'm not for all the hooting and hollering, ranting and raving with no direction of how we could make things better.
No actual solution. Right.
Right.
I agree.
Right.
Great. Well said.
Solution based, not problem based, baby. Let's go.
100%.
Well said. Well said. I feel the exact same way. I'm not even gonna add anything to it. I feel the exact same way. Game is great. Best card game by hands down. I would say that nonstop.
Yeah.
I play Pokemon Pocket, a lot of it. Having my fun with that game is just opening packs. I can't say the gameplay is on par with Snap because it's not. It's not. I came from Yu-Gi-Oh. It got to a point I was tired of reading too many of the cards. I like classic Yu-Gi-Oh. I like Battle City Yu-Gi-Oh. That's the Yu-Gi-Oh I love. When they started pulling out the pendulums and all that, I was like, done. Not playing this anymore. But to go back to that, it took away the fun, right? Snap is fun. It's entertaining. And like you said, the content creators is what make the game flourish because we put a show on for the casual players, and they love to talk about the game. They love to ask the questions. They love to know what list is going. I mean, even the other streams, people are like, yo, I'm waiting to hear this podcast on Friday to make my decision to buy Peni Parker. Like that's
absolutely
what they're doing.
Yeah, definitely.
So I agree with you 100%. Focus on helping the game grow by backing your content creators because some of them do use this as a living to feed their family. Others, like myself, part-time, but I do enjoy this game to the max. So it's like, definitely support your content creators. And everybody who has issues with the game, just like how I had an issue with the Shuri change, just make a productive suggestion. Trust me, the devs are listening.
Yeah, don't come out and be like Infinite needs a buff. Like we don't want to hear that stupid shit.
Yeah,
okay?
it does.
Like nobody come at us with none of that Infinite
needs a buff. Infinite needs a buff.
It sounds stupid, and then nothing gets changed, guys. All right, so
the 20 minutes.
Let's not do that. Let's be rational. Let's think about things and
Infinite needs a buff.
Good suggestions. Not
all right, guys.
Not pointing any fingers.
This has been great. I think next week might be the last week for the year. We'll see. We'll find out. But I do want to talk about, Infinite needs a buff, guys. Look at the meta we're in. I'm not going to dive into it.
That's my Surfer is trash, but Infinite needs a buff.
I want to talk about the best cards of this year, the best season pass cards of this year. And we're going to dive into that in the next episode because I really think Agent Venom is probably the best card this year, best season pass card this year. Agent Venom has just... not nerfed, even though he's fine now. Not the nerf one, the one that came out when he came out. Was it would give +4, right? Base card, changing the base to 4.
It was 4 when it first came out. Yeah,
such a great bounce.
Yeah,
negative. Iron Man. Name me another battle pass card besides Galacta right now. Name me another battle pass card that it was so good. So you guys let me know, because that's what we're gonna do next week. You guys let us know in the chat what you think is the best battle pass card, so we could bring it up on next week's video. Juice G, as always, I appreciate you. What's up?
One quick question: are you saying of all time?
No, of this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of all time, it's gonna be tough, man. Because like
that's a lot.
Like Wave came out.
Was Loki a season pass card?
Yes, it was. Yes.
Yeah.
Done. GG's, my boy. Done.
So Loki's
done.
So of all time. You see, I can't, man.
How many times they done touched them? How many times they had to touch them?
Classic Zabu made your 4-cost cards 2 costs. I know I say touch all the time.
Cino is a menace. Cino is a menace.
He told me I can't say touch anymore. You see, that's what I say adjusted. I gotta say cards get adjusted now.
Cino,
I can't say touch.
Is a menace.
Listen, classic Zabu made your 4-cost cards 2 costs.
Yes.
Right, so Zabu, I think
Zabu, I was a fan of.
Listen, Wave was the second season
at the same time as +3 Surfer.
Right. And +3 Surfer was also a battle pass card.
Yeah.
But yeah, low key, yeah, I get it. But yeah, for this year, I'm thinking Agent of Venom just wins that. But we'll dive into it. I know there's something that I probably missed that I completely forgot about. Agent Venom is more in my mind because it was like 2 seasons ago. But yeah, Juce G, as always, thanks for coming out and hanging with us.
Yeah,
definitely have a good time. Love your takes as always.
Yeah.
And yeah, I hope we get to see you again starting the next year. I would like to do a live episode with you and 218s and Cino. We do it live on a stream and just ask questions, get questions answered from the fans. I think it's gonna be a fun time. So look out for that in 2025.
That's right.
Hey, thanks for having me as usual. Thanks for having me.
No problem, bro. We appreciate
man. Happy holidays, everybody, and catch you guys in the next podcast. Peace.